What I'm about to show you is the moment my political candidate shifted in this debate. I'm going to show you a video that has everything to do with the foundations of this channel and what I think is the end result of everything crypto related.
Thank you. This question is for Dr. Clark. As many of us have seen on TV and in our mailboxes, there are millions of dollars being spent by a Super PAC to support your campaign. The Super PAC comes from the same organizations that are backed by crypto lobbyists, billionaires, and support Donald Trump and his MAGA agenda. Are you proud that they've chosen your campaign, and what do you have to say to the voters to clarify that spending on your behalf?
The Super PAC in question was Protect Progress. Now, this is a Super PAC that's funded by Coinbase, Ripple, and Mark Anderson.
Thank you so much for the question. Here's the deal. I have no control over what Super PACs do. I did not know anything about the Super PAC coming into our race until I went to my mailbox and saw one of those mailers.
Here are some of those mailers that they're talking about. This one, paid for by Jasmine Clark for Georgia. That's one. Paid for by Jasmine for Georgia. Two. Paid for by Jasmine. That's three. Now, paid for by Protect Progress. That's this one. Paid for by Protect Progress. Not authorized by candidate or candidates committee. Protect Progress. sspac.com. That's this one. That's two. Another one. Three. Another one. Four. Another one. Five. Another one. This is six. Protect Progress. So if you're keeping track, her campaign paid for three of those mailers. The Super PAC tripled that. Just for reference.
Here's what I do know. I am very proud of the campaign that I am running. We have over 23,000 individual donors. We have a volunteer army that is knocking thousands of doors and calling thousands of phones. And we are running this campaign in a grassroots way. And so again, I have no control over what a Super PAC does, but what I will say is that I do believe that there's way too much money in politics coming from billionaires. And I do believe that we need to take a long, hard look at ending Citizens United, because that's the real issue here.
This to me represents a missed opportunity to clarify and just flat out denounce the campaign funds that have been pouring into this campaign. This was an opportunity to name them by name and let the people know where you're getting your money from.
You have 30 seconds for a rebuttal, sir.
I appreciate your mention of a long, hard look. I think it's more important that we have politicians who are not beholden to any corporate interests or status quo and are willing to say the thing and disavow that when they have the opportunity to. So I would offer to you one more time, if you would just be willing to look in the camera and disavow the $2 million that are being spent on your behalf, more than any of us has individually, to actually communicate to voters in what should be a free and fair election to exercise a candidate of choice. Will you look into the camera and disavow yourself of that spending on your behalf?
Thank you very much. Dr. Clark, you now have an opportunity to ask a question of one of your opponents.
Why is this a big deal? Because it's the same leverage that the wealthy have used in the political process that is being used in the cryptocurrency arena. They're using that same money to force the smaller guy out, drown out all the smaller miners. You can look around, the enthusiasm just isn't there anymore. We now buy cryptocurrency miners, lottery miners, because it's just not profitable enough for a single user to buy one or two, Bitmain miners, those $6,000 ASICs, running them on a ridiculous amount of electricity. It's just not profitable enough for us at this point in time. And even if you could derive some earnings for that, you're still waiting on a block reward to make this all make sense. It didn't used to be that way. And what's happened with these big donors, using that financial leverage that they have, you've essentially killed the hobbyist miners passive income revenue stream, and then using that same money to fill my mailbox with a candidate that supports you doing it. That's diabolical.